What's going on, people? Welcome to the Morning View. Happy Monday. We're pretty much halfway through the international break. One game down. I was going to say, and safe and sound, no injury scares, but there is an injury scare. There has been a player who's been sent home back to Carrington as well. Well, there's been two, but we knew about the first one. That's fine. But there has been one in Harry Maguire. So we've got a lot to talk about in terms of the lead up to the Brentford game. There's one more game left of the international break as well. We're going to talk about Sir Jim's plan for the 100,000-seater Old Trafford, the Wembley of the North. We're going to talk about that. Why can't the Northwest have the big footballing events? They got big clubs as well. So Jim's being bullish again. So there's some stuff from Mike Keegan regarding that. Licha has returned back from the Argentina squad as well. It was all planned. He was going out there to just ramp up the intensity in his training. He wasn't going to play. He was always going to do a bit and then come back, which makes sense. And there's some news and reports about when he could be back for. Maguire, though, yes, Harry Maguire, back home from England training. We don't know loads about it. Is it long term? Is it short term? Is it just precaution? We will discuss further later on during the show. And of course, everything else in between. I did see United District sort of putting out, big up to the boys, should United give Scott McTominay a new contract? I saw that.
Yeah.
It was was that just a topical thing, or was that
no? There was a story 2 days ago, I think it was, from the Daily Star, saying that United were giving him a new contract. It's one of those ones which go, okay.
We can talk about that amongst ourselves, just as a little. We're not going to reference where that came from, but just as a thinking point, as Man United fans, towards the end of the show, we might chuck that in there as well. But INEOS is 100,000 seater stadium. Owen, what have we got? Oh, and actually, before we do that, shout out to everybody. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Get involved in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We're already at 80 likes and over 500 people watching, which is good. Let's get the 250 in the bag. First super chat straight away. Flex, you see the clip I posted? Looks just like you, says Daniel Luciano. I don't know if I want to see it.
Oh, is it going to be an aging gerbil? Is that
Maybe. I will check it out. But over to you, Owen. Over to you.
Yes, let's talk about Old Trafford, the redevelopment or the building of a new Trafford. Do you think that's what they'll call it?
No, you can't do that. No, listen, I'm one for not being stuck in history to be like, don't change it because you can't call it.
But what if Old Trafford's behind it? New Trafford's here, Old Trafford's there. Still there.
Nah.
We'll get Paul in a second. We'll ask if we like New Trafford.
Doing that.
Nevertheless, Mike Keegan said from the Mail, and he was a bit cheeky, old Mike. He was a bit cheeky with the way he did this because he got people very excited last night that the new stadium was going to be 115,000. That's a stadium in Morocco. But people that are going to be working on Old Trafford or New Trafford, they're going to be building that stadium. So that's basically what it was. But he said that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has mentioned 100,000 as a potential capacity for a new Old Trafford, and it would appear Manchester United already have people on the case who can make it work. Stadium designers, Populous, were brought in by the Glazers to look at plans to refurbish or rebuild the club's iconic home, and their subsequent proposals have been scrutinized by Ratcliffe's INEOS people. Certainly, Flex. We've seen. I mean, they've been ratified for what? A couple of months at this point?
Oh, yeah.
A couple of months.
February?
A couple of months. I mean, they put pen to paper on Christmas Eve. The stadium's a big thing for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It's one of his key things. He spoke about it in interviews. That task force of the sort of Greater Manchester area, they're already in place. Chaired by Lord Coe as well, which is very interesting, of course, because of his experience with the Olympics and putting the infrastructure together for that. But also, I think he's a Chelsea fan, proper Southerner as well.
Yeah, he is.
But he's good for the job.
Job.
Yeah. And do you know what is funny when you think about 100,000? This may be a kind of crazy question to ask you. Is it enough?
Don't say, oh, good man. And I thought he was going to say something ludicrous.
No. Is it enough?
I think. Listen, if Man United, and this is where rival fans go, look at them, they haven't won a title in 11 years, and they think they can. No. If we had 110,000 capacity, it'd be sold out every week. If we had 120, it'd be sold out every week. It would. It would. It really, really would. I just don't know in this country if are they even allowed to go over the size of Wembley? Are they allowed to go over the size of the National Stadium?
I don't think that's a thing.
Is that a thing? Is that made up?
I don't know. I mean, I'll look at it now, but I don't think it's a thing.
Yeah, but we need that round 100. I think We need that round 100. Like, there's something about saying, "Got 100K, mate." I mean, even Barca was, what was that, 109? The old Camp Nou. I swear it was like 110, 109 at full.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe they didn't open it to
I
that a
swear
lot,
it like
but
fluctuated as well. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
98,
Yeah.
96. Then sometimes it's like 100. But I think the official capacity, I'm sure, maybe if it was because of the olden days, because it's such an old stadium, maybe you can't have that because of how it was before they've rebuilt it now. You couldn't actually have 109 in there safely anymore. Back in the day, you used to be able to. Like the old Wembley. The old Wembley, back in the day, you could, I think, over 100 in there. I'm not sure.
Well, obviously, old stadiums before the sort of safe seating or whatever,
Safe
the sort of
seating, safe
record
standing
numbers,
thing, yeah.
was incredible, wasn't it? But just
Yeah.
a quick Google search, I can't see anything that's like
That
there's
says you
this
can't.
rule. I mean,
150.
I don't know if it's like an unspoken rule or anything
What's the
like that,
biggest in the
but
world? It's got to be one of them NFL ones, isn't it?
biggest stadium in the world.
Is it like 120? I've never seen like
That can't be right.
150,000 seater stadium.
Well, apparently, the first thing that pops up is it's in North Korea. So I
Oh,
don't.
really?
So
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, but from this is genuinely true as well. The largest wrestling event in history attended is in North Korea as well.
Is it?
Because
Oh,
because they
maybe
went
it's
over
that
there
then.
and they went over there in the mid-90s, and it was mandatory attendance, so everyone had to go. Like
Oh my
everyone
God,
had to
that's
go,
mental.
and it was like
How
I
much
want
was
to say
that?
it might have been like something like 200, like 300. Like I'm not even joking. It's no joke.
And
The
the
height,
rings in the middle, that's taking the piss, as Bear Man
yeah,
didn't see that day.
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
The largest stadium in the world, according to Wikipedia, it's a very strong source,
Yeah.
says that it's a stadium in India and it has a capacity of 132,000. The second
Really?
one is 114,000. That is the one in North Korea in Pyongyang.
Wow. So around 120-ish then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to anyone who's from India in the chat. If you can confirm that. Jacob says India 120. I don't know if you just done a Google search as well. But if
yeah.
you're from India and you're aware of that stadium, let us know. Or if you're from Korea and you're watching, let us know. I'll tell you what, Nines Aga says 99K would be great. 99K?
Yeah, you want
Just
100,
because
didn't
of the
you?
99? Just because of the,
You want the
But you
100.
mentioned just if you go to 9, you've got to get the extra 1,000 in it.
But
You
yeah,
know what I
but
mean?
that wrestling event, yeah, it was called Collision in Korea, and
Yeah.
there was 2 days. Day 1, 150,000. Day 2, 165. A total attendance of 315,000, with the ring in the middle.
Wow.
How mad is that?
That's ridiculous. The Indian stadium is a cricket stadium. Yeah, because I do know cricket in India is
Huge.
huge. Do they use that for the IPL then? It's in Calcutta, is it? I saw Calcutta playing the other day in that IPL thing. So I was just browsing. But yeah, cricket's massive,
But then,
massive
like you
in
said,
India.
once you get out of them, then you get into a lot of stadiums in America. There's
Yeah,
Michigan Stadium, Beaver
NFL.
Stadium, Ohio Stadium, Kyle Field, and they're all like,
And Michigan's college.
and they're all like the Melbourne Cricket Ground, of course. You know, you've been there,
Yes. Yeah,
MCG. That's
MCG.
100. But then,
Was that
yeah,
100?
yeah.
I remember when we walked out, we did a tour of that on the pitch side, and we looked around and went, it feels really spatial. It doesn't feel like 100. But again, so these are the levels that we need. So bringing it back to us, you talk about some of the biggest sporting franchises in the world. Man United should have it. They
Yeah,
should
well,
have it. And if
all of these American ones, they're all college teams.
that's what I'm saying,
and the
college,
NFL
team,
is
but
college football.
yeah, and that's the thing about Americans, the way they do their sport. Shout out to all the American listeners. You're very familiar with this. College sport is an absolute joke. They're not even professional athletes. They're kids going to school. Amazing schools for a lot of money, but
And it's huge.
it's absolutely massive. And some of them may not even make it ever pro ever. They'll also just leave there and get a job.
But
Go
playing
work in
100,000
Walmart.
stadium, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Easy, no
mad.
problem.
But yeah, for us, I think especially if we're going to go through, which it looks like we're trying to, if we're going to go through what it takes to actually build, if we start from scratch, you got to get it right. You can't scrimp and scramp and cut back on this, and it's got to be the full shebang. I went to Wembley on Saturday night for Kobe Watch, which I'm not going to lie, it was a tough watch at times for a lot. It's a tough watch, but I got to see Kobe come on, so I'm pleased for him. I'll leave it there because I want to get invited back to watch more of Kobe, so I'm not going to say too much bad stuff.
Well, I can say what I sent you. I can say what I sent you, can I?
You can say that. Yeah.
I want to make sure that I don't get this wrong, because I don't want to misquote myself, because I said it in the throes of anger at the time.
Yeah.
Here we go. Full-time whistle goes, and I said flex. First message, I went flex. Never call it an agenda again. And I know it's early, so apologies. If kids are watching, put your fingers in your ears. I said, he's fucking shit.
Jesus Christ. And he wasn't talking about Cobby, I promise.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah. No, the Southgate chat is not back, Daniel Licha.
No.
We're not going to go there. We're not. We're just, Owen's just saying. Yeah, it was, honestly, I was in there thinking, bloody hell. It's a tough one, this Gareth, isn't it? Bloody hell, mate. Fucking Brazil got like 14 players missing.
With a new coach. First game.
With a new coach, mate.
And the coach.
17.
And did you hear about their coach as well, the Brazil coach? He nearly missed the match. Did you hear about that too?
Nah, what, late in Trafford?
Once again, if you're having your breakfast, put your fingers in your ears. Because he had, for the first time ever, he had an English breakfast, Flex.
Oh, no, it mashed him up.
Yeah, he had proper diarrhea. Yeah.
He looked all right on the touchline to me, mate. Man, standing up the whole time.
Had a couple of tablets of Imodium, got through the game, beat England at Wembley. Not bad going.
Yeah, not bad going. But what was I actually saying before we
arrived? Our stadium, 100,000.
Oh, that was it. I went to Wembley. I went to Wembley on Saturday. And when I was, obviously 90,000 is new. And when you're in sort of the hospitality bit and you're walking through, not even just the hospitality bit, just things to buy, things to eat, things to drink, champagne bars, this, that. I'm just looking, I'm like, should be Old Trafford. Like, this is what should be like. When you come here to Old Trafford, it should be this sort of experience.
And Wembley's been around for a while now as well.
And it's not even that new. Exactly. No. When did it open?
2008. 2008.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember the first game that was had in it.
David Bentley scored.
Well, first club game, I think, was FA Cup final. And we lost to Chelsea, extra time, Drogba. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think there was an England game maybe before that. But we were I think we were the first FA Cup final. But it's been around for a while. Like you said, it's not new. But when you go around it, when you walk around it, like walking through the concourse and just seeing like all of like the food options. I mean, shock. That's what I get turned to. But I mean, even that, compared to Old Trafford, you go, oh my God, there's different options.
That's what I'm saying. And like when you
go
to
apart from that, just one hot dog and a beer.
Pie. Yeah. In the package with the ready salted crisps. Yeah, package. And you can get wine gums if you really want to push
you can,
and that's exactly it. And it's the same at Tottenham Stadium, which is obviously really new. When you go there, it's like a mini Wembley. In the concourse bit, it may as well just be like Wembley. It's that bit. It is, even though it's 60,000. So yeah, my opinion, it's not going to change. Man United need to do it. Aminor says, where is the money coming from? What about recruitment?
Well, the money's coming from a mixture of places, isn't it? I suppose. I mean, clearly, Sir Jim, if he's talking about it a lot, he's going to be putting some of his own money in. That's what some of his money's pledged to be for, wasn't it? For infrastructure, easy for me to say. Like we said before, I think that whole thing about government-funded money, I think that has been massively overblown because the way that they've tried to spin that headline is that Sir Jim's going to, the government and going, we want you to build Old Trafford for us, which of course is not the case. Like that's not the case. What they're talking about is, again, all the infrastructures that surrounds it, transportation links, housing, jobs, etc., because that fundamentally affects the local area and the local economy. That's what they're talking about with that, but doesn't make as good of a headline, does it? Certainly. But as we said earlier on, Flex, this is clearly been one of Sir Jim's big things, his big projects, his big ideas. There's already task forces in place. They're already discussing it. I suppose the question is, if you had to put a prediction down as to when we would hear something concrete about this is what we're doing.
We are building a new stadium. Yeah. Those words would be great.
Because even now, I would say the reaction to it has changed from even like 2 or 3 months ago.
In a positive way.
Even when the topic first came up like a year ago, 18 months ago, it was like we cannot build another stadium. Absolutely no way.
Like, why?
History, boom, 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 boom. And it was very much staunch against it. But then once you start hearing potential new plans or possible new plans,
you get excited.
People go, oh, actually, and once they lay out, and honestly as well, once they lay out logistics. And the logistics are
it's on the same site.
There's not a lot more we can do with Old Trafford now. We're at where we're at. We can renovate. The capacity won't increase. It's going to cost a lot of money because we've expanded as much as we possibly can at the moment. It's going to cost like £1 billion to build a new stadium. It would cost a little bit more. But also, we'd still have to renovate this thing again in the future. We're not saying get rid of it. We're saying maybe downscale it. We'll use it for other things. It will still be there. We'll use it for the academy. We'll use it for the women's team. We'll use it for other purposes, maybe for sort of smaller events. We'll use it for that. But like, let's be honest, like time moves on. Things change, things evolve. And that's not ignoring the history. That's not saying you don't care about the history. That's saying you absolutely care about the history. You're keeping it there and you want to preserve it. You don't want it to rot. You do want it to be there and functional and maintain your history and not forget the past. But you also, whilst maintaining the past, you do have to look towards the future as well at the same time. And I think the new future is that new stadium. And looking at it, and maybe I'm wrong with this, but trying to take the pulse of it, it does feel like that kind of sentiment towards it has changed. And most people, or a lot more people rather, are on the sort of same page when it comes to, we kind of need to have a new stadium. As long as it's in the same area, as long as we look after what's already there, then yes.
Yeah, and I think with the way Sir Jim wants to do it with the people he's got involved as well, with Gary Neville as well, he'll be, advising him or helping, how they preserve the old one, what's done with it, what's done with the land around it. It's all sort of improvement to the whole infrastructure of that whole area. Do you know what I mean? So in terms of when we think, because you said, when do you think we will sort of hear more? I reckon, 25th of March.
End of the year?
Maybe I think by the end of the year, though, by the end of the year, like I said, could be a bit earlier, we will know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And like you said, they definitely aren't going to spend £1 billion to just renovate it a bit, but the capacity doesn't even go. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
How is that economically viable to spend £1 billion making Old Trafford a bit better?
Well, that's another thing he said in these interviews as well. He's spoken a lot, hasn't he, about FFP, and he was in the interview. It was on this that cycling podcast he was on the other day, and he was sort of saying that. And I know that fans, when we hear money out of us, we get very kind of defensive, as we should.
Yeah,
it's our money.
What makes the club run, though?
But he was sort of saying that if you do go to the stadium, it's incumbent on the club as a business to give you the best experience possible and give you the best options possible. So like we were saying, just like
keep you there.
Think about food, right? So he's sort of saying, well, you should have the widest variety of choices of food there that you want to have. So if you're there and you go, I love this, I can have this. Not a one star will give you salmonella. We don't want that, right? No. We want a wide variety of foods. We also want a wide variety of different entertainment options, including the football, obviously, but there's other things you can do there. Like, that whole experience needs to be better, because if you're going to spend all of this money on a stadium, it needs to be more than just, you can go watch football there 90 minutes. There's nothing else to do there. It's rubbish. Your experience isn't all that great. And that's about it. No, it's meant to be like, it's everything, isn't it? It's all encompassing. And you look at all of these American stadiums, they are, the most multi-purpose stadiums you can find ever. They can do any kind of sport there. They've got any different kind of concerts there. They've got things in the stadium that are completely unrelated to football that you can do. Sport, One's got a nightclub in there. Someone's got a swimming pool in there. And we kind of laugh and you giggle at it. But the point they're suggesting is, like, these are all revenue streams. And we like to talk about, don't we, FFP? We don't FFP, it doesn't matter to us. We make so much money. Then you got to make money. You got to find ways to make money. And particularly if you spend a lot of money on a stadium. So, like you say, can you do that with what's already there? And if you're just renovating, probably not. Probably.
No, I don't think you can. There's only one option for me, and I think that they will take it. We've got to 200 likes. It's decent. It's good. It's good in the bag. I like that. Yes. We're at over 1,100 watching, so let's get to 250. Let's do that, guys, and then push on from there. See if we can get to 500. Streams going up right now. 20 minutes in, we've got over 1,100 people watching, which is good. So I think we can do better. I believe in you guys. Let's move on to Licha. What's happening with his return? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so this comes from the Manchester Evening News from Tyrone Marshall, who has said that Lisandro Martinez is likely to return to training at Carrington this week and will aim to return to the Manchester United side either at Brentford or games against Chelsea and Liverpool later on in the week. Now, of course, Martinez has been with Argentina throughout this international break, continuing his rehabilitation. There were actually pictures of him in Argentina training. So he's back. You know, he's not back out on the pitch in terms of playing matches, but he's back on the training pitch, participating. When do you think Licha will be back? Is it too soon for Brentford? Is it going to be the week after with Chelsea and Liverpool? Or do you think that the whole plan has been, no, he goes with Argentina because we want him ready?
Because he's
for
ready,
that Brentford game?
I think, again, someone said it straight there. Jan says Licha's early return is sus. We're all going to be skeptical now because we're going to be super nervous, and I get it, rightly so, because of Licha's year with the injuries have just been, in my opinion, really unlucky. Not injury prone, really unlucky. But they've all been long-term ones. They've all been long-term, and when he came back before, I think it's important when he's in this return that remember when he came back before he was ready. Not the first time he came back, because the first time he come back, obviously it was the bodge job, fine. But actually, when he came back from that one and came back he played against Wolves, didn't he? He came on against, started against Newport.
It was Newport's first one. Or did he come on before then? He might have come on before then.
I think he came on. He came on for like the last 10, 15 and 1.
Yeah. And that
then
wasn't
I think
the plan.
He played Newport. Yeah. And then didn't he play against Wolves and was like, see, we got a full strength team. I'm sure he played against Wolves.
Yeah.
And then did he come off? No. And then he played against West Ham.
It was West Ham and they fell on his leg. Yeah.
Then he fell on his leg, coup foul. So it was unlucky. Like, it's unrelated, completely unrelated. He hasn't had this knee injury. This isn't a reoccurrence. It was his foot last time. His knee didn't give way because his foot was still bad. Kufal fell on it. So I think we have to get that in our minds. But obviously, with our injury record and with our medical team and what's happened this year.
Yeah, he's ready.
Do you know what I mean? So it's hard, really, because like you said, Owen, the plan really could have been the whole time that's why he's going away. Because listen, if you're not ready, let's look at it this way, right? Let's think of it. We're not medical professionals, but let's just use common sense, which isn't that common to everyone, but let's use it. If you have a player who's coming back from a long-term injury, right? I'm assuming the Argentina squad were in Argentina, or were they in Europe for their game? No, they played against El Salvador.
Yeah, I think they must have been. Yeah.
I bet that game was in South America somewhere anyway. I don't think it was in Europe. You can't put a person who's come back from a serious injury on a long-ass flight
in America.
It's in America. So,
Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field.
Right.
Home of WrestleMania 40.
There you go. Owen knows all the American stadiums from wrestling. Yeah. If you stick him on an 8-9 hour flight, it's private, whatever, and he's, still recovering, bit of jet lag, and it's just not great, is it? You don't do that if he's not in decent nick. They wouldn't allow that. I would like to think they wouldn't allow that if, because you think about recovering from a long-term injury, the air pressure, got to wear compression. So it's needless traveling if you just can't do it. To just go for 1 week's worth of or a couple of training sessions, really, as well, of intensity with the Argentinian squad, and then fly back. For me, I think he should be very nearly ready. If not, very nearly ready. Because if he's not, what the hell is he doing going on a plane to America to train with Argentina and come back?
Well, they've probably got better medical departments in America, in fairness.
Well, good. That's what I'm saying.
Particularly knee stuff. I think he plays against Brentford. I do. I think that's been yes. I think that's been the plan for maybe the last, 3-4 weeks, maybe. Is like right. You're going to be getting closer and closer before international break. Right, let's let you go with Argentina so you can get like a week of training under your belt. He'll come back now, another week of training under his belt, and I think he plays at the weekend. Now, he might not play, I suppose you can look a bit further ahead and think, right, it's
might miss Chelsea.
It's Brentford, Chelsea, Liverpool, isn't it? Is that the thing? Yeah. So you could say maybe he doesn't make the Chelsea one. They sort of go, but I think there is a desire for him to play against.
Could be tough.
I think there is a desire for him to play against Liverpool and get those games in. I mean, he's going to play. Like you said, I think he's been very... I don't subscribe to his injury prone thing because, and that would actually, if I was him, that would actually really piss me off. I'd be like, oh, injury prone. Like my foot got stuck in the ground and my foot broke. I underwent surgery and the guy who then operated on my foot screwed it up. That was it's not my body's fault.
Oh, accident prone. You're accident prone, mate.
Yes. And then I get back and they took their time with him coming back because they were like, we definitely don't want to get this wrong. He's had 2 surgeries on his foot. You've got to be delicate. And then some guy fell on my leg and it bent the wrong way. And I'd be like, are you... Well, I'm injury prone. Come on, man. So, no. And the only concern would be, obviously, is that if he was rushed back and a bit like the first time around, and you're watching him play and you go, I'll tell you what, something's a bit off of Licha. This was a bit too soon. That's the worry with that.
No, but also... Sometimes even if it does take a while... Yeah, and also though, it could just take a while to get like even if
this is also
been out for ages.
Again, this was the other thing I was going to say
whatsoever.
When he did come back in January, and this was what was unfortunate is that so he played, as you mentioned, against like Newport. Came on as a sub, I think, before that. Played against West Ham, and it was only really sort of towards the end of it, just before he got injured, that everyone was starting to say, right, he's starting to kick on a little bit now because it took him a while. So that's why I say I think he'll play against Brentford. Probably not the whole game. I think if things go to plan, probably he gets taken off, which I know will then lead people to worry because whenever you sub off centre-backs, they're like, shouldn't do that. But I do think it's going to be a case of, right, get him some minutes as much as you can, build him up. Hopefully he's ready for that Liverpool game. But I think he plays. I think he's ready to go. I think he's available for the weekend. And I think again that was part of it.
Tottenham played 27 minutes against Tottenham.
That was it.
He played the Wolves game. He played 86 minutes against Wolves, and then he got injured in the 71st minute against against West Ham when Kufal fell on him.
I like this comment here in the chat from Bartholomew. I think he's trying to sort of suggest that Licha is injury prone and says, how many serious injuries has Van Dijk, Saliba had the last few years? How many injuries has 40-year-old Thiago Silva had? Virgil van Dijk famously did his ACL because Jordan Pickford scissored him, whatever. And
after the ref blew the whistle.
Yeah. And you wouldn't go Virgil van Dijk's injury prone because those injuries you can't do anything about. You know, it's one thing. This is the thing with it, with players that are injury prone and what have you. If you're injury prone, look at like Anthony Martial. That is a guy that's injury prone because nothing happens to him and he gets injured, or he just gets injured playing the game. Like he does his groin, does his hamstring, does his calf, does this, does that. Like they're all muscular injuries, non-contact injuries. That's a concern when you play football, when you're an athlete.
I forgot about that. He's played his last game ever. He's not going to come back.
He underwent surgery, in beginning of the month or something like that? And even that was bizarre. Right. Because that was not bizarre. Because remember, it was like, he's a hip injury. And then it was like, no, he doesn't have a hip injury. He's got a groin. That was it. He's not injured. We denied that. The agent denied that. He does have an injury that he's undergoing surgery for. So he is injured.
It's a 10-weeker.
Yeah.
A 10-weeker, which by the time he gets back from it, he ain't going to get enough time to get up to speed to play like the last few games. He played his last game.
And I know I brought this up in the past, and again, I think people got a bit sort of touchy about this one. But it doesn't really matter now because United aren't going to sell him. But I think that Martial, at this point, and probably what he should be doing is going, right, it's over at United. It's finished. Obviously, they're not giving me a new contract. I'm gone. What can't happen is wherever I go next, they're not going to put up with this shit. They're not. They're not going to put up with it.
That's why he's fixing
I've got to get fit. I've got to get fit, basically. So I think that's probably his intentions, his plans.
Yeah, I agree. Super chat here from 333 says, guys, when do you think changes that Mr. Jim has been flapping about comes to fruition? Management structure and stadium plans completed is a must by the end of 2025. Well, I think the management structure will definitely be done by then. That's going to be done by the summer. We'll know what it looks like. Maybe not everyone would be in post by then. I think depending on the money they give to Dan Ashworth, or they give to Newcastle, I don't know. Maybe he has to wait to the end of this calendar year to start. Maybe he has to start in January.
Or
on the money,
after the summer transfer window closes. That was one of the other ones. Yeah.
There's a lot of stipulations depending on how much Man United want to push the boat and how much Newcastle want to dig their heels in. So we'll wait and see. We also need a new sporting director. No, Dan Ashworth's going to be sporting director. Head of recruitment we need, or something.
Head of recruitment. Yeah, there's going to be. There's like 3 or 4 executives that still need to be kind of put in place. But I do think, and
I think both will be done by the end of 2025.
And this, and I know sometimes this gets why are you being so defensive of Sir Jim? But I think he's done more already than people had expected him to do so quickly. I mean, legitimately, I know he put pen to paper on the whole agreement in the 24th of December, which again it's just about 3 months ago. Yesterday, that's not that long. That's a very short amount of time. Very short amount of time. And it was only ratified officially. Could only officially do stuff like a month or so ago. So I understand the mindset of, well, actions speak louder than words, because absolutely they do. But we do have to have an element of patience. Like some of these things, to do it right, you can't do it quickly. You again, when it comes to the right people in the right positions, it's going to take a bit of time. Like you said, for instance, someone like a Dan Ashworth, where people, if you're any good at your job, you tend to be locked into one position at this period of time. So that can take a little while to get out of. Something as complex as we said earlier on, 100,000 seat stadium, that does not get done overnight. Even the planning can sometimes take years for that to put in place, even if it is expedited as quickly as possible because of, government assistance, what have you. So I do think we have to exercise a little bit of patience with that, because these things will take time. But I understand also that it's football and patience doesn't really exist.
No, exactly. And patience is the virtue. But I do think, to respond to that super chat, I think both plans, especially the management structure and stuff, that will definitely be sorted by end of 25. Has to be.
Yeah, I don't think we have a Chelsea situation of when Todd Bowley took over and into the next season, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Czech's leaving now, and
yeah, we've come in and we've chucked them all out already.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing that might happen is a few more leavers. I mean, because John Murtough's technically still there, isn't he?
What's his role going to be? Because it's probably not going to be what his
current
role is. Yeah, exactly.
Just loads going on. Matthew Lim, big up to you, Matthew. Says Flex, hello from Singapore. Big up, man. I really want to go back to Singapore, man. Really loved that one. Tour 2019. It's amazing. I didn't get to spend long enough. Only there for a couple of days, and then had to fly to China. Can you continue your confidence vibes like you did against Liverpool? Then United will go on 100% record all the way.
That is true.
To be honest,
that is true. You can't with the energy that you had going into Liverpool game. Now, when we play Brentford and we get into building that up later on the week, you can't be like, "Oh, I'm not sure."
Oh no, I wouldn't do that. It was the second Liverpool one that I was like, I haven't really decided my tact on that. Yeah, well, actually, I have decided my tact because they called me out on DR, and I just put the glasses down and said it again straight away. So I'm going all into the end of the season.
Same with Chelsea. You if you dare when you're talking to Matisse,
no.
down.
No. Oh, I'm going full. The thing that pisses me off about Chelsea, though, is we never beat them there when we're supposed to. Never.
Record's not great, but now's the time.
Never. Like, even last year, they were. Shit. We should remember McTominay flipping pulled down someone. They got a pen near the end, and then Casemiro, bloody.
Yeah.
And then before halftime, Anthony should have scored. Sancho should have scored. Like, we just always do all right there. And then we just never beat them. But we always beat them at home. Smash them at home all the time. Yeah. So yes, Matthew, I will be going all the way in, believing, until the end of the season.
Good.
And until I get seriously derailed between now and the end of the season, which happens.
We were saying on Trinity,
10 games left.
Exactly. That's what we were saying on Friday. Now's the time to be united, because nothing can change between, in terms of Eric's future, whoever's future. We can't do anything about that. We got a chance, which we did not.
And I think the lads are getting a bit of confidence as well. And if they go and beat Brentford, which I expect them to do after that Liverpool win, imagine we win the next 3 games. Imagine if we beat Chelsea and Liverpool again.
But what I would also say with this about that, right? Let's say we beat Brentford and Chelsea and we don't beat Liverpool. It doesn't go our way. I still don't think that's for season's over.
No, it's definitely not.
There's still a lot
6 points in it with all them teams got played.
We need to keep that in mind.
And they're going to Villa and Spurs are going to lose multiple games.
Exactly.
More than once.
Exactly.
100%. Million%. Obviously, you could say, so will we in 10 games. Exactly, which is why it's a lottery. Which is why you got to be in there. That's why you got to be in there. Harry Maguire. We're at 300 likes, by the way, getting to 1,400 people watching. So actually, we can raise it. If we just take a second now, let's get that 400 in the bag. We've done
500,
guys.
500.
500.
Why
500.
not? There is nearly 1,400 people watching. There's only less than 200 likes to go to 500.
Yes.
We can do it. I mean, we saw the other, was it like a week ago today, actually, when we had that show after the Liverpool game and everyone was excited or whatever. You can click that like button. I know you can. I know you can do it. You know, sometimes I'm guilty for it as well, Flex. Sometimes you forget, you're so engrossed in the show. Sometimes the phone is it's twisted sideways, so you can't see the like button. Untwist, untwist. Just click the like button. Easy. Then you can do it back again. No problem. If you're on your TV, just click a couple of arrows, and you'll see it again. Boom, like button. Easy, done.
Literally what he said. Literally what he said.
Yes.
Harry Maguire.
Yes, Harry Maguire. Now, he's picked up an injury, and it's not from when Kyle Walker kicked the ball at the back of his head. No. Manchester United released a statement last night, along with the FA, saying Manchester United defender Harry Maguire has returned from international duty with England due to injury. The 31-year-old started Saturday night's prestige friendly, that's what they're calling it, Flex, a prestige friendly, against Brazil at Wembley. Prestige friendly, yeah, that's what it was. And wore the captain's armband after skipper for the night, Kyle Walker, was forced off early on. It says it was confirmed by the FA earlier on Sunday evening that Harry has sustained an injury and he will not feature in Tuesday's match against Belgium. Maguire will now return to Carrington to be assessed by Man United's medical team, which is a death sentence, really. I mean, you know, that's even worse, realistically. He should have stayed with England. But Fabrizio Romano...
Game, didn't he? He played 90, didn't he?
Yeah, Fabrizio Romano did say yesterday as well that he's going for a scan at Carrington. It's not expected to be a serious injury. The scan's going to confirm more details. If he is out of action, it's not going to be for very long. But look, it's another injury. And this is the problem with this international break. This is why you've seen lots of people drop out. Not necessarily because they're not injured, but lots of managers or lots of different teams have gone, this guy's got a knock, because at this stage of the season, who doesn't have a knock, basically? And they're like, no chance. Why are you going to Wembley to play in a friendly that doesn't matter? Why are you going away on international duty to play a game that doesn't matter? No, thank you. Out straight away. And people like Man City, they were looking at Kyle Walker, weren't they? Being like, done his hamstring.
Arsenal fans would be licking their lips, mate, when they saw that happen. Yeah. And plus, their guys are out. And Gabriel and Saka will definitely play. Definitely.
Yeah.
I bet you any money them man are fit.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I don't know. It's all
but
good.
when it comes to United, though, it's another injury. You know, centre backs. This is why I'm glad Varane retired, because there's no way he'd make it through any of this.
No chance.
But he's available.
No chance.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you see, rest up. He's rested all the way through the international break. He's sending letters, flipping rightly so, to bloody FIFA. Discrimination, mate. How you gonna tackle that? Do you know what I mean? He's active, mate, in the right way. So yeah, exactly. The medical team needs to be overhauled. Horrible, says V33. Yeah, I hear you on that. Also, at Steph Shakes, I'm fine. Ashley Williams says Flex does look withdrawn. Not gonna lie, you're all good. Steph Shakes says sending Flex good energy. I'm fine. I did celebrate one of my family friends. Yeah, I'm tired. I celebrated one of my family members' birthdays yesterday in Manchester. Big up, shout out to Chucky as well at the old school, not the old school, the R&B and slow jams event. I had to go check it out. I hadn't seen Chucky in a hot minute. So I stupidly went to Manchester. Well, they had it there, so I had to go there.
Yeah.
And then drove back and then do the show. So yeah, I'm all good. I'm just got a croaky voice probably. But I appreciate you guys though. Just for looking out. But I'm completely fine. I'm not sick. I'm just got back late.
You know what I like is that I look for these morning shows look tired so often now that the concerns have stopped. They just that's how Owen looks. He wakes up.
Is this your normal thing?
The eyes are like this. The bags are always here. You know what I mean? It's just along. The eyes are always bloodshot. More than after.
Yeah.
The concern. Exactly. It left a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. John James says, "Is that Chucky from Stonebridge?" Oh, yeah, I think Chucky is from Stonebridge. He's a Northwest guy. But yeah, him and Taser's event's doing really well. For R&B and slow jams. So yeah, went there with a big group of family and friends. Flex on the Half Card podcast soon. Yeah. Chucky needs to invite me to the HC podcast. Why not? And yeah, and Shane said, did you drink alcohol? No, I didn't, because I had to drive. I was designated driver. So yeah.
Sensible Flex.
100% sensible Flex. Just tired driving down the M6 at 2:30 a.m. Yes, but Harry Maguire, listen, it's annoying, isn't it? Every time There's just always something. And then look, the outrage isn't there for Harry Maguire because
he's had a few injuries this season, hasn't he?
He's had a couple. He's had just the little niggly ones.
Yeah,
here,
groin,
3 weeks here. Well, that's how Varane got back in. Let's not forget.
Yeah, it was that Bayern Munich game, wasn't it? Bayern Munich game. And then he missed the game at Anfield. And then recently he's been out with injury. He just come back from injury, really. He's been out for a while. So he's had a couple. I think he might be a bit concerned about like he's going to the Euros. He'll be in the squad, but he might be a bit worried about his fitness making it towards there as well. So that is a bit of a concern one. But with Maguire, it is interesting, isn't it? Because the narrative has changed somewhat around him in the sense of
it has
that sort of gasp that when he sort of used to come onto the pitch.
He did one. He did one against Liverpool. He did one.
Oh yeah, and he did one for England as well. Did you see that one?
Sorry,
yeah. But I mean that sheer, like it used to be last season when if he was if the team news came out and his name, that number 5 Harry Maguire, you went, oh my god, no. Like, or what? I remember one. I think it was Arsenal when we were playing Arsenal at Old Trafford, or it might have been City, and we were winning, and he came on, and the stadium literally went, Maguire's coming on, and I felt so bad
not
for
nice.
him.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Literally walking on the pitch, and everyone's going, "Oh my god, we're gonna concede."
It's even worse.
Maguire's coming on the
you
pitch.
just feel it. Everybody next to you. And it's actually not nice because you just don't want to feel like that. But everyone does this over it. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And then when he goes up ahead,
and it has changed a little bit now. Like when he does start, there isn't this like, oh my God, he can't believe he started. Because I think there's a general acknowledgement of not as bad as he used to be. Yes, in the summer, hopefully he goes, but like, okay, it's not as bad as it once was. So obviously him being out, it is a miss because we just need players. We need people that are available, and he's done okay this season. But
he has done okay. Do you know what he has actually every time he's played, because he still wasn't the starting guy this season. But
it wasn't the plan to be, was it? It was
injuries. And then even when Varane came back, there was that period in like October, Manchester derby time, where the reports were saying, "No, Varane's not happy, mate. He wouldn't just put him straight back in after he got back off injury." And Maguire was legitimately playing, and we was going at the time. He's legitimately playing well.
Yeah,
he's playing well. Obviously, it doesn't change. Our feelings are still like, if the money comes in, move on and stuff like that. Yeah. But I think resilience-wise, mentally, he has come through a lot. There has been times where, remember, we said, "Oh, just don't go on it now to duty and say that," or "cup in the ears." And there's been a few little wobbles, but was it? And it was Ollie who was saying, isn't it?
Even that's kind of like backed off a little bit.
Exactly.
Now,
that's what I'm saying. He's just got his head down and works, bro. To be honest with you, which you can't ask for much more than that. And even Ollie said it in the overlap, didn't he? He said after that Greece thing, he was struggling.
But it does help that he's not the captain, because if he was still the captain, then it would then people would be going, "Look, this guy's a captain and he's still not good." And every time he would make a mistake, they go, "That's the Manchester United captain." So that has, I think, really softened the blow when it comes to him quite a lot. But I still think in the summer, if for West Ham come back in, if he plays in the Euros, does all right, I think it's coming to a much more natural conclusion for him now, isn't it? Like it kind of feels like, okay, right, cool. You're 31 now, off you go. But look, he's still on a big contract, so that's the problem.
How many has he probably got in the summer? He's probably got 2 years left.
His contract he signed way back when was massive. I mean, so I think it's 2.
Is he still on the same contract from when he first signed? He didn't get
a new one. It's huge.
Bloody hell! Because that was after Bruno. That was like, when was that? 2020. 2019.
Contract.
Yeah. He's got 1 year plus one left. Okay, plus the trigger. So
he signed a 7-year contract.
Rah, Ollie, man, signed a 7-year contract. Dashed out Ashley Young as captain. Made him captain straight away. 80 million. Fucking hell.
Yeah, his contract expires June 30, 2025, and he's got an option for another year. So he's got a year left plus an extra option.
Yeah. Well, listen, he's done well this year, but these are the things that you're talking about. Just can never happen again.
6+1. That was a contract he signed. We were, 80 million, 6+1. We were all in on Harry Maguire.
I think his first game, was it against Wolves?
Chelsea.
Oh, it was against Chelsea.
Trafford. And he got man of the match. He was good.
Yeah.
He was good.
Bro, I remember every single header Yeah, I was so shameless. The guy next to me, I was like,
Hey,
this is what we've been missing. Someone who gets his head on it. Someone who look. Oh, he's playing out from the back. Look at that Diags. That's what. Oh yeah, this is it. And he was good that first year. He's good the whole first year actually.
Yeah, I mean, getting that game against Chelsea,
Yeah,
he was good. I remember that watching
yeah.
that game. Because see, there you go. And one of
And
them the
Eze
year
says,
before.
yeah,
Jeremy, one of
Maguire
them.
deserves credit. He never gave up. He didn't give up. Mr. K says, big up Owen and Flex. Flex, I will like to say that you are a role model for me. You dress well, speak well. Keep up the great work. I really appreciate that, Mr.
There you
K.
go.
You're not bigging up Owen's style. And someone said there in the chat,
Well,
Owen's the one who's got a fashion style advisor.
well, you know,
Big up
I think
Mr.
it's
K.
probably because, you know, I don't have the extensive clothing. My relationship with clothes is very different to Flex's relationship with clothes and trainers. Flex has got like a room filled with 10 million different pairs of trainers. I have maybe about 4.
Check it. Check it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You know, maybe about 4. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
I just, you know, maybe we need to expand Flex with the, you know, with hoodies or something like that, so I can wear one every day.
I do have quite a lot of
You know.
hoodies. I don't really wear them like inside, like for the shows, unless it's cold, which it's not really cold in my house a lot. So I like to, yeah, I'm wearing a t-shirt. But I do own a lot of hoodies, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, my thing's shoes. Yeah, I don't really buy loads of clothes, but yeah,
I just
shoes.
look at them as very functional clothes, you know what I mean? As opposed to sort of a fashion looking good. You know what I mean?
It's just, well, this has to keep me warm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Am I comfortable? Am I warm? Yes.
no, but you do like, color. I can't see you in a bright yellow hoodie because you're just like, I don't want any of that.
No,
Right?
because I don't want, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Very sort of muted
plain
colors.
grey.
You know what I mean? That's
maybe a
fine.
navy.
No problem. Am I comfortable? Yes, no problem. And I suppose comfortability means just, you know, with what I'm wearing, but also with how I look at the time, you know. So like you said, nothing bright. Am I comfortable wearing this? Bright yellow? Absolutely not. No way.
Yeah. What's the
No
brightest color
chance.
you'd wear? Red.
Even that, I mean, I'm not massive on bright reds, to be honest with you. I'm not. Sometimes, you know, when you see like a red hoodie and it's like bright red, you go, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
You know, not that. It's really sort of very muted, black.
Well, I've got an extra
grey.
Jamaica tracksuit. I've got a Jamaica tracksuit that Adidas sent to me. I've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's bright green.
Well, why didn't they send it to me, considering my Jamaican heritage?
Yeah, I think they just want to see if you wear this first, and then yeah. So I mean, maybe you could have it. It's a nice, bright. It's green trousers, green tracksuit top, yellow stripes down the side.
Maybe I just need to start wearing some more just like wrestling merch. I just need to wear WWE t-shirts every day. You know, so wear some Bret Hart stuff, wear some CM Punk stuff like that. Maybe I'll do that.
There you go. V33 says in Fergie's era, players over 30, they got 1-year extensions, and then you keep going and seeing how it is. Yeah, that's definitely not how. It's definitely not how we move. Definitely.
Manish says confirmed. Owen likes to walk around in PJs and slippers. If I could, Manish, you have no idea, honestly.
Owen rocking Clark soon. Yeah, 100%. We're at 1,400 people watching. We're at 419 likes. So let's go, guys. Let's get 80 likes through the door now, and let's get to 500. There you go, 420. We're on the up. We're definitely going to hit the 500 before the end of the show. I can feel it.
Did you with Clarks? Did you when you were younger? Did you used to have the flashy shoes at school?
Oh, the LA Gear. Yeah, of course.
Did you used to have the ones that when you walked, the back of them lit up with all the lights?
Yeah,
and all that kind of
LA
stuff?
Gear. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
had those. I had those, and you know what my school said to me? You can wear them. No, but you got to turn those lights off. I went, well, I can't. How can I turn them off? It's not a switch. It's not a switch. No, whatever. They used to be like, can you turn this off, please? No, I can't.
There's something when you're young. Yeah, there's something about getting shoes with lights in the back that's just so sick.
Yeah.
When I walk, it lights up at the back. Are you crazy?
Everyone turn the lights out. You know, what I mean? Walk free. Oh.
Yeah, LA Gear, mate, or LA Lights. I'm sure they're called LA Gear though.
I can't remember what they're called. I just used to, get the lights in.
Yeah, they were called LA Gear. I'm sure in the 90s, man. Definitely had them. Had the Patrick Ewing trainers as well.
And going to the shop or whatever, and they use that thing to measure your feet or whatever.
Yeah,
it felt like
they are light up. Yep, LA Gear.
Is that what they were
LA
called?
Gear, mate. They need to bring them back. Yeah, LA Gear light up shoes. That was the ones I had. So sick. So sick. So sick, man.
Well, they weren't that for me.
Because you can get different ones. Like I just remember, like in my area, everyone just had LA gear with the light ups. But then there were like kids ones you could get from just other places. That
like even now,
nice,
I typed in Clark's light up shoes. Yeah, and some of the stuff I'm seeing, mine were. They must have been like knockoff. Or
no, they weren't.
Because
mine
was shit. Mine were rubbish compared to these. These were like school shoes, so they had to be black, right?
Yeah.
And the lights, maybe they would work for a month. Because
yours are knockoff.
There was nothing worse. You ever have it when you used to walk around school and you could tell they used to be light up shoes, but they didn't work anymore. So you had like see-through heels. But nothing used to happen.
No lights. Yeah, no
but,
lights.
You know, you can only have one new pair of shoes like per term or something like that. So, unless my shoes had, holes in them or the front was sort of flapping off, my mum would be like, no. Even if the front was flapping off, we'd be like, right, let's get the super glue out. We can fix this. We can do that.
They've got quite a few on Clark's. They've got some on Clark's now. Flare light up toddler Clark's. Yeah, they've got some now actually. But I can see they've got loads of light up ones with like dinosaurs on the side and unicorns and stuff. There's a school shoe one, Spark Beam older, black leather. Yeah, so that's got a strap on it with some laces. Wide fit available.
There you go.
But yeah,
Shoe
Clark's. Shoe view. Clark's was just get the wallabies, man. Just get the wallabies. We're at 460 likes. Come on. I did see, just caught my eye. United District was saying that Southgate was sort of talking about Shaw's injury. Said he's going to be right on the edge of the season. We know now to play 7 matches in the Euros is highly unlikely for him. So because he's getting back so late, he's probably not going to be. He might not make it.
Yeah, well, obviously Ten Hag did say when he said about Luke Shaw that he said he could maybe play like 1 game at the right end of the season, didn't he? I hope from an England point of view, he comes back because Ben Chilwell. My goodness me!
No, we've got to play Joe Gomez, bro. We've just got to play him.
The worst one in that game is when he was under no pressure, goes to cross it, and it just went miles over the bar. God, the Chelsea players that played in that game were a disgrace. They were an absolute
support your players, Owen, man.
They were.
They had a bad game.
I don't support Chelsea. They're rubbish. They're
England.
Terrible.
They're England players. Support your country.
Oh,
they had a bad game.
I don't support the England manager, let alone some of the players. Honestly,
no, but it was bad. It was uncomfortable in there. There was boos and
again, I know we said we weren't going to do Southgate view, England view, but there's a couple minutes left. England were rubbish. That was a terrible. Well, not terrible. It was Brazil with a better team.
Still pretty good.
They had 14 players missing with a new manager. Andres Pereira played flex.
Yeah, came off the bench. Played all right as well
for Brazil at Wembley.
Yeah.
And this is when it gets a proper disgrace. And this is what annoys me. You didn't see this, right? Because you were at the game. But when it comes to the media and like Gareth Southgate's friends and the pundits after the game, you would think I was getting ready. I'm like, this is going to be good. They're going to go in on him and say, how did we lose this? It wasn't a good Brazil side, or they got players out. They didn't have the first or second choice goalkeeper. I was like, it's great. And then Channel 4 goes there and they just go like, well, I think Gareth learned a lot.
What did he learn?
What did he
learn? Never to play them again.
What did he learn? I think he learned a lot. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, isn't it? Well, yes, it is disappointing when you lose a match. And you do the same thing over and over again. Oh, my goodness me. And then at the same time, you then look at the other results across Europe. Germany beat France 2-0. The Netherlands beat Scotland 4-0. And I was just like, when we face a good team, if we face a good team in the Euros, we're in big, big trouble.
Big, big trouble. It's true. It's true. And I just don't see how he's... gonna get out of this. Look, we've had a laugh and stuff, but obviously, look, the truth is, I've said it many times. It's true. As soon as we, basically, I agree with everything you said. For the purpose of trying to wind you up, I'll push back a little bit. But the truth is,
I'll be here.
Can't be Man United manager.
I'll be here in the summer.
But don't be.
I won't be like that.
You want us to lose?
No. Never would be like that.
So you can say you was right.
I'll be here.
Come on, Penenka, Harry Maguire's done
That's
it.
what we're going to go for. We're going to go for the Asylum is going to be returning in the summer. And in the Asylum, I'm probably going to go mad. You know, we're going to be doing the Euros. It's going to be a lot of fun. And but I think it's probably going to be a lot of tears for me in that because honestly, Flex, watching that game.
Good. It was bad. It was bad. It really, really was. 484 as we wrap up and get out of this stream. Big up to you guys for watching. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. One more game left. Hopefully, Kobe can start against Belgium. Maybe that'll be something. I tell you what, even when he came on, I know like we conceded, like when he came, like after he came on, but he just done one turn. He done a turn on someone and just got out of this challenge.
Yeah.
And you're like, you just see already. You could just see. And when you looked at how, you know, Conor Gallagher stunk out the place, and he needs to get minutes around for a lot of players as well against Belgium because you can't just be rolling out the same team like Jude Bellingham again and all that. Got to mix it up. So I think there's got to be a good chance Kobe's going to start. Surely.
I think so. I think a lot, like I said, a lot of those players that are big players for their team, I'm sure probably England had discussions with, like you said, like the Bellinghams with Real Madrid of like, okay, he plays against Brazil. You don't play against Belgium, you know.
Flipping, what's his face played nearly 90 minutes as well. I know it's on their team, but Vinicius, didn't he? So
yeah.
So a lot of these players,
a lot of the players will probably
play. Watkins played 90 minutes, so surely you got to play Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
You know, probably start Lewis Dunk. Well, Harry Maguire's injured now. Joe Gomez going to have to start. Concer's going to have to start.
You probably start with Ramsdale and goal, probably.
Give Ramsdale a game. Midfield, you take out Bellingham, take out...
the problem is they don't have many midfielders.
It's not really, because it's Henderson's there, but he's a bit injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But as long as Kobe gets this. But then again, though...
I
just wait there.
Be careful. Yeah.
Wait there. No, we can't do without Kobe, bro. At all.
45 minutes. He's fine. He'll be fine. He's durable.
Please, God, man. Please. 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 WJ Barrett says, we will beat Chelsea and Liverpool. We have to believe. Villa and Spurs are self-destructing. We will win the FA Cup and finish fourth. Come on. Glory, glory, Man United. Glory, glory, United view. Eric Ten Hag in. And we are 3 likes away from 500, which we will get on the way out the door. Thank you guys for hitting all of the targets that we needed to do today. That is what we want to see. And we'll see you on the next video very, very soon. What is it today? It's Monday. So full view.
6
p.m. View.
Yes.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
Live. It's live. We'll see you then. 506 likes on the way out. So well done, guys. See you on the full view later on this evening. Take care. Peace.